Hi, I'm Marty Pearson with IdealMarketers.com, and my guest today is Kirk Duncan with 3keyelements.com. And Kirk is a body language expert, and he does a body language show. And I went to it, and it's fantastic. And so I want to talk to Kirk a little bit about body language. So, why is it important to even read body language?
I know it's like one of those lost art pieces in life. You read in history, and they talk a lot about gestures and how they matter in communication. Joan of Arc, in her story, she talks about how somebody wanted to go deliver her message for her, and she says, no, I need to show up to use my gestures to deliver the message.
Oh.
So even way back in history, they knew that it was important to be seen in person delivering the message. So it's more than just words that send the message, there's movements that send the message. So today, I really feel like a lot of people use texting, a lot of emailing, a lot of phone calling when they're not around people, and so their gestures are awkward and they don't know what they're doing with their hands or their face or their eyes. It's almost like it's getting lost. So I want to help people.
Now, do you think we intuitively read body language, or is it are people picking up on these things that we're doing that are odd? Or
well, subconsciously I know that we use reading body language as a skill to keep us alive and to keep us safe. And so when we're out in the world and we're looking and watching people, we're assessing people by how they stand, how they walk, how they use their hands, how they hold their head, if their head's up or down. You know, so when we walk into a room, we start making judgments about people. And many times people are being misjudged because of the way they stand. You know, like business people, when you guys are using your hands, usually I'll see people and they say, yeah, my business is growing really big. And they're using these small gestures. And everybody in the world's going, no, your business is actually really small. When if they'd open up their hands when they talk, they'd send the message that their business is growing. And so there's a lot of contradiction that happens in body language that I see today. In fact, my wife and I, when we go to the store, you can see parents talking to their kids and, you know, and saying words like, I love you, you know, or I really like what you're doing, but their face and their pointy finger doesn't match. And kids sit there and they look confused trying to figure out what their parents are really trying to say. And so there's contradiction, a lot of miscommunication because people are not paying attention to their body language.
Right. Yeah, we're just always behind our electronics and everything. We're not really thinking about it.
Yeah, because right now it's like, how fast can you text, you know, and those thumbs are always going and texting, but they don't realize as soon as they get in front of people that even when they're not talking, they're talking. Just by how we look at a person, where we look at their face, you know, if we're looking in the eyes or watching their lips, or our hands are what usually give away tons of information. In fact, I tell people all the time that when I watch your hands, I can tell how much money you have in the bank, I can tell how your love life is going on, I can tell how you're just doing with your hands. A lot of times people will close off in the front with their hands when they're talking to people, and these are literally like the gates to their heart. You know, business people, sales people, if you've got to keep your hands open, it tells people that you're open to receive more people. But when people get nervous, they'll pull their arms, they'll fold their arms, interlock their fingers, and it sends the message, stay out, stay away from me. And so salespeople could do a lot better too if they would tune into it more. So it's good. There's a lot of good skills there for them.
Now I've seen you say you don't want to do this, right?
Oh,
what is that?
Yeah, and like usually people are like, I'm so glad you're here today. You know, we're going to give you tons of information. And there's two ways. You're either with your body language pulling an increase to you, or you're pushing away what could be coming to you. And so I watch their gestures to see if they're pulling or pushing. And so this is a pushing it away. Or when they're talking to people, are like, yeah, we'd love to have you in our business. You know, there's just sometimes people, they're saying one thing, but their gestures are contradicting it. And where gestures are 57% of communication, and words are only 7%, the people remember what they saw more than what they heard. And so whatever you say, that's okay that you said all this information, but they'll remember your gesture that you did. And then they'll take that as the real message. So I suggest people get wise about their body language. You need to get better at what you're doing. And if you don't know what to do, then you show up to a class and you get trained. It's not just a fun class, but it is fun, but it's not just fun. So there's literal training to help them do better.
Right. So you would want to say, come on, come to the...
Oh yeah, gestures
class, right?
going this way, and gestures that point to your heart or point to your mind. You know, there's some business people I see, they'll be talking to someone, they'll be like, wow, I'm really excited to be able to work with you in your business. And they're rubbing their neck or rubbing their wrists, and all those messages tell them that they're going to be a problem. And so even new clients, you know, can get the wrong message, and then they don't buy very much, or they quickly go to their competitors. I just watch so many people in business ruin their business because of their gestures.
Wow. And so you pick up on that subconsciously. So the person that, like when you meet somebody new, you might say, well, I just don't feel like I can trust that person, but you don't really know why. It's probably in their gestures, and you're picking it up subconsciously, and it's not that you're...
Yeah, just like how you just did your hands. There's these big gestures,
Uh-huh.
but then your face just did some little micro movements.
Oh, wow. I like
Just
it.
some little tiny pieces. And so
Mhm.
there's the big gestures that we move with our extremities, but then there's little tiny moves that with how we squint our eyes, how we squish our lips, you know, how we do things here sends a lot of messages too.
Micro expressions.
Micro expressions, yeah. And
So
so,
you read all of that too then.
well, and because I 24/7, I'm always watching people and training people, I see it all over. But when somebody comes to our class, they learn how to look and see those things. And then, number two, so they can adjust their own gestures. Because it doesn't take very much training, it just takes some good training to get them to adjust their gestures. And business can go up. It can go up with better gestures.
Huh. And where can people learn more about this? Where can they go to a show or something?
Go to 3 Key Elements, the number 3, Key Elements, and get on our website and give us your information. We have shows here in Utah, and we're working on some videos and some things like that to get it out there. But man, get a hold of a class like this, because it makes a big difference, especially everybody's going towards the media to communicate, all these electronic devices. You'd be very wise to be able to learn about body language, because I see it's a talent and a skill that's being lost. It's not increasing, so everybody else that's losing it, you increase your skills here, it'll put you at the top of the food chain. It'll keep you in a good place and not fall behind like a lot of businesses are doing right now.
Yeah. And I saw you in Phoenix too, so sometimes
Oh,
you go
yes.
down that way. Right?
Yes, there are different locations that we go to.
Okay, great.
So, very good.
All right, well thanks, Kirk.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.